Welcome to Devstream 28, where we are joined by the sound team. You've seen them before in a stream. We have a new face. We're talking about the sound of Warframe today with the sound dev team. Why don't you guys take a moment to introduce yourselves? We'll start with Plaid.
Me? All right, this Plaid right over here. Hi, I'm George Spanos. I'm the audio director on Warframe.
I'm Jeff Hartling, sound designer on Warframe.
Travis Didluck, sound designer on Warframe.
And I'm Keenan Junior sound designer on Warframe.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us on this Devstream 28. And we were early, so sound team is punctual and sound team is starting early, so that's awesome. We're going to start the stream with a little bit of housekeeping. To begin, we will be doing 3 platinum prizes, as always, with our dev streams. We will be doing a 24-hour alert after the stream as well, so if you want a 24-hour potato, stay tuned for that. It'll probably start at 3:30 Eastern Time. We'll see. And just one piece of news, we are still in the cert process for the PlayStation 4 Update 13 bill. Just a little update on that. We believe we're on the tail end of it, so you'll know when we know, and thanks for bearing it with us. We want it out just as badly as you guys. So that's the housekeeping. That wraps up the first part of the stream. You guys have introduced yourselves. And we have tons of questions from the Design Council, as well as we're going to take them from chat. So let's get started, shall we?
All right.
Now, if the audio is poor in the stream, what do you have to say about that?
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because you guys are here on the couch now, so
Yeah,
you guys can't be blamed.
so,
but I'm just going to
yeah.
say it's going to,
Yeah.
this better be a top quality audio
It'll be
stream.
amazing.
Any tips in talking into the mic?
Just keep your distance, keep your cool.
Keep your cool, all right. That's something you say to the Lotus, I think.
Yeah. Lotus knows how
Lotus
to do it.
all right.
She's pro.
We're going to start off with one of the most notorious stream situations, a question from DJ Redwire, who says, there's often many emergency vehicles that go by the offices of DE. And of course you know this because they happen all the time during streams. Does that actually interfere with your recordings?
Actually, it doesn't. Luckily for us, we're all the way at the back of the studio, so we don't get any of the sirens. Although, when we do sometimes when we do like creature voices or loud screams, people around the office can hear them, and we have to make sure we tell everybody what's going on because people tend to be like, "Oh my God, what's going on in the sound room?"
Someone is getting murdered in the
Someone's
sound
getting
room. Do you
murdered
guys
over
ever?
there.
Yeah, you often would get, and you have weapons in there, so it's not
We do have
out of the
weapons.
questions.
Yep.
Speaking of, one of the bulk of the questions from the community about the sound stream is about weapon sounds, and I'm going to try and pick out some of the ones that speak to, different weapons overall that you guys have worked with. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, I hope you guys are ready to talk about
Oh, we're ready.
Are you sure? Okay, so the question is, what are the general sound reworks you have coming, and what have you used to make the sounds thus far in?
Well, I guess as far as sound reworks, as I think a lot of people on the forums already know, we've reworked a lot of the weapons, for various reasons. At this point, we're kind of keeping up with all the new content that's coming in, and so we don't have anything particular planned, but there's always things that we can improve and things that we can kind of change and make better as we go along.
Okay.
Melee 2.0 actually got a huge update for a lot of the melee weapons.
Right.
And so that was a big thing that just happened recently.
Okay, so Melee 2.0 is coming for PS4. It's coming out now, and every melee weapon in the game suddenly gets a new sound. Or what did you guys approach that with?
Pretty much, yeah. Travis did most of the work on it, and
I think 90% of the weapons got redone. Like sound, like even from everything from like impacts, hit effects. Like I had Jeff stand in the middle of my office and I would hit him with. I'm kidding. I didn't
you
do
have
that.
photos of your melee. Actually,
Yeah,
one of the particular questions actually about this, now that we're talking about the melee weapons, is from Casardis, who says, with some of the infested weapons, more specifically the dual I-core and the Mire, will they get unique sounds as opposed to blades?
Yeah. It's something we definitely want to do in the future.
Yes.
It's just time right now. Like Melee 2.0 is kind of just like a basic pass across everything.
Yeah.
And as we go further along, when we have time, we'll start doing custom sounds for those weapons as well.
Right, so when we get the bacon sword, as they call it, are you basically going to...
Yeah. We want to try to do like custom sounds for each faction. So each faction kind of has their own unique kind of sound to them. So
you can kind of see that in the project, like the firearms right now.
Well, things like the various whips and that kind of thing, that's a good example of like faction-specific sounds that we try to kind of roll out. So whenever a weapon has a particular, is really, obviously faction-specific, we'll try to design the sound with that around it.
Right.
So right now, we have a good baseline, and we'll tweak as we go along.
Excellent. Do you have anything, based on the community overall? Twin Vipers, Gorgon.
Twin Vipers, yeah.
So there's
the thorn in my side. No.
There's a general, the questions that came around in that regard is, are you ever going to add the ability to give yourself a retro sound pack? So like the original Gorgon, or just customizing the actual sound, much like you can do the animations for the frame, choosing your sounds?
I mean, eventually, like choosing your own sounds is a cool idea. The problem we have right now is because we do release a lot of content really frequently. You know, we kind of try our best to get the best content in there for the base sound. So when we do have more time, that is something we could investigate in the future.
But it's not like you guys are plugging away yet.
No, because the thing is that there's always something new that has to go in the game, and so we're kind of, you know, we're focusing on the new content and revising some of the old content. And
Right.
in order to give new sound packs, we'd have to design new weapon sounds for all the weapons, which would take a long time to do.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, we go along. And, you know, to the other question about it, you know, as far as Vipers go, you know, those probably will get, you know, looked at again, you know, in
Is that
in
a
the near
promise?
future.
Because you just made the Viper.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I gotta say, it's one of those things. It's like it's a funny thing, and I'm sure like the other departments too, like art department and everything. You know, you put something in the game and you're happy with it, and then a month later, like, oh, I wish I could change that. And you know, we can change it.
Yeah.
But because of schedules, quite often there's always something else to work on, so we don't get a chance.
Like,
But you know,
you shipped a working sound, and now the next thing.
exactly
Right.
right. So. Yeah.
So this is just kind of a side question about, like, obviously you have the sounds with the existing weapons, and your territory for sound, as far as, you know, you understand, you get the weapon and you have to make a sound for it, you get the enemy. Have you ever thought, and this is a question from the Great Zamboni, who asks about kill notification sounds or magazine depletion sounds. So there's a very long post that I'll send to you guys about this after, but there's games that have, I guess, I don't know if it would be diegetic or non-diegetic, but the sound occurs when you've killed the enemy successfully, or if your magazine is nearing its end. Are you going to explore adding sound to those gameplay elements?
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been talking a lot about that, and you know, I think, you know, adding a sound for every enemy you kill, it's a tough thing because you don't want to constantly be spamming the player with
Right.
kill notifications. I think it would be annoying. So maybe, you know, on certain kills, you know, maybe if your weapon is modded up a lot or something, maybe we could do something like that.
Right.
You know, and yeah, so we've definitely been talking about that. And the magazine, the clip kind of running out sound, that's a cool idea. We've thought a lot about that too.
More user feedback stuff in general.
Right.
Just so, you get those cues and you know you're going to be running out and you want to
Because
take
whether or
cover.
not you have time to look at the UI to see that you're at like your second bullet out of 30, you know, you might not have it, but
Yeah, definitely.
to have
Absolutely.
sound factor into that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's definitely something we're going to explore. And
I think even with like flesh bullet impacts and stuff like that, I think that's something we really want to be present in the mix, which might not be right now, but I mean, it's something we want to explore in the future
Right.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so there is room, because that's kind of like a territory of sound that our game doesn't really have right now. But like you had the death bark issues, so every time a Grineer dies, if he does his growl, remember the spamming issues that happened with
Right.
that even?
yeah, I mean, all enemies always have like pain sounds and death sounds, and so that's kind of the first kind of indication that you've audio-wise that you've
Right.
done damage to an enemy or killed an enemy. So, but I understand some players, you know, it depends. Like again, so you know, maybe a regular kill doesn't have a kill notification, but if you get, you know, a certain type of kill, you know, with a really modded up weapon,
Well, I mean,
maybe
the
we could do
proc
something with
system
that.
uses that sound. Like
That-
if you
yeah.
get a
Similar.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the procs have a very definite sound.
Yeah,
as
if
well,
you lay a proc,
so.
which is, I think it's very, very satisfying. And I, you know,
Yeah.
I can kind of see the argument that adding more
Yep.
feedback from the kind of more sci-fi I don't know,
Definitely.
would be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's something we're looking into.
Very cool. Our next question, and this is for many a stream and thread now, we have the infamous Kubrow.
Right.
So as far as you guys are concerned, first of all, Megalore asks, do we have any sound assets from the Kubrow? A ton of people are asking this.
Yes.
And if we do, can we talk about them, show them, and
Yeah, I believe we have a video clip of
Okay.
a short clip of attacking a Grineer.
okay. Enemy crazy ones that'll kill you, and then the domestic ones. So what's going on from a sound perspective?
So the feral one that you're seeing there is going to be a lot more vicious and ferocious and just really huge sounding. Whereas the tame one might sound a little bit more controlled.
Right.
It won't be snarling all the time. It's kind of more like maybe a pet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
are
a
we?
bit different timbre too as well.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so now Jeff kind of, not you Jeff, other Jeff, said that there might be a pack mentality. So is there going to be any, a lot of people have kind of in the forum said, are they going to be wolf-like or are they going to be bear-like? Or like, is there a general theme we're going for in terms of?
They have a mixture of dog, my vocalizations, and lion in them.
So you're the Kubrow?
Yes, part of me, like about half 50%.
50% Jeff.
Yeah.
Kubrow with 50% more Jeff. Yeah, can you do a Kubrow?
It's very pitched down, so if you heard it unpitched down, you wouldn't want to hear it. It sounds really funny.
That's the thing. I mean, I think to add to that, like frequently when we are doing enemy sounds, a great way to kind of communicate the intention to the player is to have a bit of a human element to it, so you can kind of shape it and make people kind of it resonates with people, because the human voice is what we resonate with the most. And so I think Jeff did a great job of kind of implementing that, and obviously making it not sound like he's the one that's growling, but it's in there and it's blended.
Growling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
it's
sound
blended
really
in
good.
so that it doesn't sound like human.
Yeah.
It sounds more like a dog.
Who did the sand skates? Because that's the other kind of creature.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
desert
you
skate.
guys haven't really got a chance to do the creature side of things in terms of like direct animals. So
Not animals, but
Yeah.
some infested stuff, which we'll talk about later.
actually, speaking of, that's the next question. Concrete Pie says, who voiced the infested? And another question that ties into this says, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Ivari Sitkitsung asks, will we get more scary sounds for the infested? So here we have the infested faction-based sound question. So
Well, so I guess for us, one of the things, and people have asked questions about revising sounds. So the infested kind of were long overdue for a revision, and so a lot of the times now when you encounter the infested, there's they appear in a pack, and so it's difficult to make each one have its own voice in that sense. So they kind of all blended together the way they are right now in the game. So we've been working hard to kind of give them a whole new voice set, make them creepier and make them stick out. So it's like, that's an ancient, or that's a runner, or that kind of thing.
right, do
So-
you have stuff to show?
And we have some clips, yeah.
So here we have, I'm just grabbing more water.
All three. We just maybe play each one a couple times.
Interrupt anyone's sound of that, but I think you got a taste for all three of them.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just basically redoing the sound for.
Yeah, we I think you guys know that there's a bunch of new infested stuff incoming, and so we kind of wanted to make sure that all of the infested kind of I guess you could call this infested 2.0 from a sound perspective, really.
People say good luck to people that watch this late at night.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually redesigned all those vocals in the dark.
No, you didn't.
Yep.
Oh, your dark
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
So that was the crawlers and the runners / sleeper. Everything is getting sound
and the
infested sound
ancients.
2.0 with the.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, I think, again, talking about, the human voice, a lot of that is human voice, and we wanted to make it seem like they're just these effed up creatures, that have a lot of serious problems.
Is that am I the crawler still?
No. Were you the original one?
No,
I actually used her in the Ancients. I got
On
you
the
to come in and record some of the higher pitched stuff for the Ancients. The Crawlers
Right.
is actually, it's all human vocals. The
Right.
Crawlers.
Yeah, the crawlers and the runners are all human vocals. So.
Great. Man. All right, we're going to do our first platinum prize of the stream, just because we have 3 to
do
do,
it.
and we will start it now. So we're going to give away 1,000 platinum to viewer. We're going to use our D. Adam was inspired by the fan created one, so we made one that has a little rotator in it, but it's based on Hamstertrons, and he wrote it for us. So what we're going to do is we're just going to visit the link. The rotation is going to happen, selecting winner. The 1,000 platinum prize goes to Delta 56th, DELTA 56TH. Delta56, you've won 1,000 platinum. Message our Twitch page with your in-game alias or PSN ID, and we will hook you up. Way to go. If we could get a taiko drum roll, please.
Yes.
Oh my god, a segue. Speaking of taiko drums and sound,
Yes.
let's talk about music in Warframe. One of the most common question of this particular stream was, when are we getting an official soundtrack? And
So-
are we?
Yeah, definitely. I think, we've been working on the music, and we've actually been working with a super talented composer, Keith Power.
Go Keith
and
Power.
Yeah, he has the power. And if for you guys out there who are fans of Dark Sector, he wrote the music for Dark Sector. So it's kind of a renaissance here. We're coming back to the basics. So he's writing a bunch of different music cues. The next major update will have a whole new set of Grenier cues in the game.
Can you go into a little bit what a cue means?
So we've kind of redesigned the whole music system as well. So
Sound 2.0 is beyond
sound,
Infested.
it is. So it's music 2.0 as well. There's a theme here. So in the old way we did it was we would, whenever you encountered an enemy, we'd play one track of music, and it would get repetitive because it would be on loop. So now what we're able to do is we're able to layer different elements of the piece, so
Right.
that a 5-minute piece now, it's sort of like having it, like being a DJ.
Right.
The engine is a DJ where it can mix and match different elements of each piece, so that you don't feel like it's getting too repetitive.
Right.
And so it's pretty cool, and it interacts with what the AI are doing and with what you're doing, and if you're creeping around, it'll kind of complement that as well.
Right. So did you bring stuff as an example for that? Because I do have
did.
listed that we might have some.
We did, yeah. So there's a little video here which will show you. So this is basically, you'll hear 4.
Okay, now everyone,
Yeah.
if you're listening through headphones, we're about to put music on again, and we're gonna be quiet as the music occurs, and then
I'll just explain it before we play it. So you're going to hear 4 different pieces, and then at the end you'll hear it all combined. And
Okay.
so each of the 4 pieces, this is sort of what we do in Engine in real time,
Okay.
is we combine them and we can mix and match them. So
Okay.
this is just a little snippet. This is actually 30 seconds of new Grenier music that you guys haven't heard before.
okay. Oh, is this brand new?
This is brand new.
Okay.
It's a world premiere.
World premiere.
World premiere.
System. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, what you heard there is
Apparently some echo issues.
some
but
echo
we'll-
issues, but yeah.
There's no echo in the music.
No, it'll be resolved in game.
Should we post that on a video after the stream for people
could.
to listen to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, right there.
Don't leave me hanging, George.
I won't leave you hanging.
Thanks.
So we're really excited about it. We're really, I think it's going to add a whole new, element of gameplay,
Right.
music-wise, to the game. And we also have. So the plan is to redo all of the factions. All the factions will get faction-specific music.
Okay.
And bosses too in the future. will
Okay,
probably get
so
some music.
factions get the overhauls first with music.
Yeah.
That is based on this layering
The
technology.
layering technique, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So Grenier will be first, and then you guys will get Infested,
Okay.
And then we'll do some corpus, and then we'll go from there, and
So that's kind of the roadmap plan of sound.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great just because it'll provide players with like a fresh experience every time they load into a mission.
Sure.
You know, and they might never hear the same cue like the same way twice. So it's going to be cool.
That's going to be badass.
Definitely.
Speaking of Corpus, I know they're last on your list, but they were one of the first, and I guess the Corpus environments as a faction had the ship AI. As you recall, guardrails are there for your
Right.
protection, please respect. And
Yeah.
the question from Polymelodic says, ship's AI and security. More AI voices and tile sets?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're trying to do obviously is the first big concern for us is getting the AI voices, all in shape. So redoing the Infested, as you guys know, we did the Grenier a few months ago. We've redone the Corpus. So once all of that's done, then we'll probably go back and relook at some of those voices.
You have Vahek with the Informer drones right now.
Yeah, there's actually, and there's also another, I don't know if it's still in the game, but there's another Grenier drone which will play like Grenier propaganda. I don't know if we still have that in the game. But
The one with the queens talking, or
it's not the queens, it's just like a propaganda drone.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the Vahek one, and he buffs the allies.
But then there's another, I think there's a separate Vahek one too, like he can, so there's two different
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
So you're going to be padding that up with.
Probably, yeah, we could do more of that.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I don't know if people super miss the AI in the ship, but a lot of players said it felt immersive in a way that.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that we took it out was I think it sounded cool and the idea was cool. It just it didn't quite fit in for us with kind of the way we were designing a lot of the new levels.
Right.
But I do agree that introducing a little more of that would be a good idea. So
Right.
we will do that.
Right. One-off question from Icy Mountain is, why did you remove the bzz, bzz sound from the Foundry? And what's happening, I guess, with the Foundry sounds and I suppose UI sounds in general?
So, yeah, we had a bunch of users in the forum sort of complaining about that sound, and so, I played the game and I was like, yeah, I can kind of see it can be a bit annoying to hear. So we took it out just to try it, and then, to be honest, I kind of forgot that we had taken it out. And, but I guess in broader sense, we're going to be redesigning all of the UI sounds in the coming months anyway. So
Right.
I think a lot of the UI 2.0 for us, sound-wise, is going to be just reconceptualizing the way that all works. Like when you first log in, there's that piece of kind of music-y sound design that just plays the whole time. We kind of want to make that dynamic as well. So just kind of introducing a few different elements to that, I think, is the plan.
Excellent. All right, so one other question is actually, even with the Grenier, we've changed the females 3 times, and now all the Grenier dudes, I guess, kind of have the language they speak in. And SE05239 asks, individual voices on enemy units. As it stands, all Grenier males use the same voice, and Greniers use the same voice, even though we've changed it 3 times to be the same. Do we have any plans to make it so that enemies spawn with a different voice?
Definitely, yeah. Again, like we were talking about the weapons stuff, it comes down to time for us. So the first thing was, okay, we invented a Grenier language, and Steve actually wrote a little app for us that it's pretty cool actually. You can type in English what you want the Grenier to say, and it follows a set of rules, and it spits out the Grenier language for you.
Phonetically in Grenier. So
Phonetically in Grenier, yeah. So I think
very cool.
a few people have tried to decode a bit. There's a bit of it on the wiki, but we did the same thing with the Corpus. So it's not just gobbledygook. It's an actual. They're both languages. So yes, to answer the question, giving them more, distinct. Right now there are 2 different sets of male Grenier voices.
Right.
It'd be great to add a couple more.
Right.
And
Teach this office, because every voice in the game is someone here. So
Yeah, So one of the Grenier is me, and the other one is someone else who.
Cole?
No, it's not Cole. It's someone else who no longer works here.
Okay.
But Cole has done a lot. There's a bunch of guys in QA who have done voices for us. And that's all I'll say about that. But
whoa,
no.
secrecy?
It's a conspiracy now.
It is a conspiracy.
No.
Jesus.
No, so that's the thing. It's kind of like, we want it to be good, so we don't want to rush it. So,
Right.
but yes, that's definitely on the list.
I guess one tier sounds up. I guess when we were talking about weapons, we kind of glossed over the depth of it. Is that so? We had weapon sounds in the game. How did you create? 'Cause it's my understanding you guys went on a little field trip, and
We did.
prior to this field trip, how and when will players have noticed the weapon sound changing to the real deal? And can you talk a little bit about what happened out on an
Definitely.
old shooting range in Canada somewhere where I didn't even know you could
Definitely.
shoot guns? But
You know, you want to show the do you want to talk a bit about the Melee 2.0 weapons
yeah, let's go
first?
back to Melee 2.0. So
Just to show, because we've got a couple of pictures, as I was saying, it was mainly Travis that did it, so there's a couple of pictures of him kind of doing some recording in the
we
studio
have questions
here.
about Folly in chat too, so we'll talk about that
Okay.
after.
It's all together, yeah.
I think it's called Melee 2.0 pictures.
They're all in one slideshow.
That's fine. Can you just go through them all
okay.
and talk
Yeah,
about them as we
that's
come up? Yeah. So
Oh, we'll start with the guns.
Start with the
Those
guns.
guns.
So it's gun range.
Microphones can shoot.
Microphones can shoot. You have to be careful.
Called book mics for a reason.
Hey, there you go.
Boom mics. Boom.
It was an AR-15, I think.
Yeah, name the guns. Gun fans will love it. Okay, so
It's another AR-15. He's got a scope on that one.
oh, it looks like a gorgeous
Yeah,
on
it
the
does.
gun. Oh,
There's
you
George
brought.
Spanos.
Were you the coolest guy on the gun range with your little?
That's pretty
Sound
cool.
device.
Oh, you're on mic.
So there's an interesting story about this actually. So we were there's a programmer here he enjoys shooting guns and going to the range, and so he invited us out. He's like, hey, I've got a bunch of guns, and why don't we go and shoot some and record them? So we're like, great. So we all get in a car and we get to the range before he does, and of course you have to be a member of the range, right, to shoot the gun. You can't just show up.
Shoot some bullets.
Yeah. So we get there before he does, and there's a couple of these guys who are just like out there shooting guns, just doing target practice and dressed up in army fatigues and everything. And we're kind of just waiting there. One of the guys comes out and he's a bigger guy. He's got a pistol.
gun.
He's got a pistol here and he's carrying the AR-15. He's like, "What are you guys doing here?"
It was kind of scary.
You got your microphone.
And we're like, we had the mics out too, right? So he's probably thinking, it's some camera crew,
Yeah.
anti-gun or who knows, right? So we're like, oh, we're going to be recording some guns. He's like, oh, like, do you remember us here? And we're like, no, but our friend is. He's like, oh, okay. Well, what are you doing this for? And we're like, oh, we're going to be recording guns to put in a game. He's like, oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Well, do you guys want to record our guns? And we're like, sure. So we go into where the covered range is, and he's got two other buddies there, and they've got all these weapons and all this ammo, and we're like, wow, this is
got lucky.
fantastic.
We
We
got
totally got lucky.
Yeah.
And they're really serious guys. Like, they're the guys that do the competitions where it's like, shoot the pistol, shoot the rifle, and
Jesus.
but they were
And then
great.
he was just in a circle with all your mics around him.
Exactly. And
Yeah, they
so
loved it.
you could see the mics on the outside edge there.
So what were you? So this happened like in the fall of last year.
November
I
or
remember.
December?
Yeah.
November.
So, yeah, let's
So
see.
what were this like? You obviously have used these all since. What were we using prior to this for gun sounds? Like, did we do a shooting range before, or?
We had done one. I'd gone in the summer, kind of briefly to do one, and there was another range that we had gone to before that. And so we'd had some weapon sounds, but after this session, our kind of library grew.
Because
a
these
lot
guys
more.
just happen to have these insane
Yeah.
automatic
Yeah.
rifles.
It's kind of crazy, actually, and
Warframe sound library grows by luck.
Yeah, it was great fun. Like, I got to say, and the best way to get great sounds, you could see some of the
that
muzzle
muzzle
flash
fire,
in there.
Oh my
That's really
god.
cool.
It's
That was insane.
pretty crazy.
It was a visceral experience. Like even just like you could feel it in your chest. Like it was.
I could never.
Yeah, you
I
can actually
mean,
see the shockwave on my camera.
Oh
Like,
my God.
watching it was crazy.
Some of the video that we got would distort
Yeah.
when they would shoot
Yeah.
because it's just like the shockwave. I guess it just like
Oh, and what about that butterfly net there? It was bad.
That was the magic.
yeah.
So
So you
the-
can talk about this stuff,
Yeah,
Travis.
so the butterfly net had like a shockwave around it when you.
Well, if you swing it fast enough.
Damn it.
You know, this is some of the props we use for Melee 2.0.
So this is Melee 2.0 from a sound perspective right here.
Exactly.
Do you actually know which ones correlate to which weapons at this point?
Oh yeah.
What's the butterfly net?
Don't give it away, Travis.
I need to
Maybe I
know.
shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. I used it a little bit in the daggers actually.
That's
Yeah.
right, folks.
Oh, hey.
Oh, sirens!
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Platinum. Oh, yeah, let's do a platinum prize. All right, here we go to celebrate the siren. Well, not to celebrate. Hopefully everyone's okay. But platinum, second prize of the stream. Here we go. The winner is. Oh, it's selecting winner. Adam, your script isn't working. Aha, here we go. Selecting winner randomly. Here we go. It's still going. Any viewers to go through? It has to randomize. Oh, this is if Adam trolled me with his script. Ooh. It's just the never. Well, it worked once already, so there's a very good chance he has laid down the troll. Still deciding. Still thinking. There's too many people watching. I can't decide. 1,000 platinum. Who's it gonna be? Adam. Adam. Oh, I'm gonna try again. Here we go. Can I just stop?
Escape. Usually that works.
No, it doesn't stop the trolling that is. Oh, here we go. Tempest 3. You've won. TEMPEST 3 THREE. You've won 1,000 platinum. Message our Twitch page with your in-game alias or PSN ID, and we will hook you up. And back to butterfly nets.
Yeah.
I just have something quick to just interject about the gun stuff. I forgot about. So, when we went to the range, we also got to shoot the weapons, and it was my first time shooting a rifle. And I got to say, it's like Travis was saying, it's a crazy experience if you've never done it. But so we each got targets. And I don't know if you guys can see that.
Way to go,
This was my
George.
target.
I see a staple in there. At least you hit it with a staple
So
gun.
it's-
So
Very
there's
successful.
no actual like bullet holes. There's staple holes, but that's at first I was like, yeah, I actually got one. I was like, no, I didn't hit the target. So yeah,
You know what,
I gotta
George?
practice a little
That's
more.
all right.
So
It's-
we'll be going back out to the range. So there's a good excuse, right?
Oh man.
So anyway, butterfly nets.
Melee 2.0 arsenal. So we have all those weapons,
Yep.
insect capturing devices, and or other. So what are we doing
So
here?
that's actually in the booth, just recording like sword strings.
Right.
And yeah.
And that's the thing, like sometimes, a lot of the sounds that you think would make a cool sound, like actually getting a sword, sometimes it works, but sometimes using other items sound better than the real thing.
Right.
And so that's hence butterfly nets sometimes.
Hence butterfly nets for daggers.
And we had an assortment of daggers and swords and just other things like that we used to create these sounds.
What about the tambourine in the background there? Is that the
That was a Christmas one, yeah.
Christmas decoration?
We collect them all.
We did use a cheese grater for whooshes on some stuff.
A cheese grater?
On a rope. Yeah.
Spatula too on the anything with
So if someone asks you, a gun.up asks, what's the grossest thing you've ever used to make a sound aside from your
I think
faces?
that's an easy answer.
Yeah, that's the turkey.
Ew!
We had a frozen turkey that
Oh,
kind of thought
right.
we were going to use it for punches and stuff, and it ended up being a lot better for slimy, gushy sounds. And,
Actually, Dean ended up.
ended up getting hit by we did
Ew.
some high drops, which sounded, we used those a lot for body falls and stuff, but
Yeah, I still have that
it
golf
was,
it was nasty.
it was pretty bad.
Would not do it again.
Yeah, it had to be thawed too, so
Nasty. Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you have any more photos to go through? Or
That's it for photos.
Okay. So, actually, I'm going to go back to one of the questions. You said it was going to be faction-based. So, Vascadar asks, how much variety in music tracks can we expect for each faction, and will it be planet-based? So that's the...
So for right now, it's just going to be faction based.
Okay.
So to start off with, and each time we drop a new set, we'll probably have about 3 new pieces. So on the next update, when we do drop the Grenier music, there'll be kind of an ambient piece,
Yep.
a kind of mid combat piece, and a heavy combat piece. And for now, that's what you'll hear in the Grenier tile sets. And then we'll do the same thing with the Infested, and then Corpus, and then we'll come back around and do more. And
So you're going, like, in terms of broader scope first, like factions, then...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like as far as I guess you could ask, well, why not just make it planet based? I think our idea was kind of like the weapons, is that Grenier music should kind of feel kind of dirty and kind of bombastic and kind of dirty in that sense.
Yeah.
Whereas Corpus will feel a little more electronic and a little more
Infested will
clean,
be...
and Infested will be kind of straight up horror kind of stuff. So, and that again, that's what we try to do with the weapons as well, is give them that kind of character, so what faction they belong
Right.
to.
What about the warframes themselves? So when you can speak to designing music is one thing and how you work that, but then you have, the folly. So people are saying, are we ever going to not really hear direct metal on metal all the time? And then, I have a few questions about this from the players. So we'll start with just the warframes themselves and the general sounds they have in terms of like just a sound design for a warframe. Then Valkyr in specific, who has this actual human sound to it versus Rhino's roar. So
Yeah, again, and
you want to give them each their own voice, their own sonic signature. I think that's really important. And yeah, Valkyrie's a prime example of that, putting human voice into it.
Right.
Yeah, I think it worked really well for Valkyr, and Jeff's been doing a lot of balancing on them actually too, because we've kind of gone in and kind of rearranged the way we do things, and
yeah, there's a bit of my vocal in Hydroid's
Really?
Ultimate, but it's very, very buried in there.
Do you Tentacle Man as well?
yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Comment on that.
yeah. Jesus Christ.
yeah. So that's the thing. I think, like, it's, as with everything, it's a work in progress. And, I think you were asking too about the sliding, the metal sound.
Right.
That's one thing that's a sound that we definitely need to change.
Every single time you do a knee slide,
We need to change that. And because right now I don't think it does surface detection.
It does it right now.
Some
Does it?
stuff.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, we do have it on water and some water.
it works in water for sure.
Okay. So yeah, we need to
snow.
improve that. Yeah,
Right.
We'll be doing
So
that.
how would you decide what, I guess there's the four of you working on all the sounds, but will surface detection come sooner than, say, the infested voices, or how are you going to?
I mean, infested voices are in progress now, and they'll be out soon. We do have surface detection in the game.
Right.
It just depends on, like footsteps do have surface detection. A lot of body falls, that kind of stuff. But sometimes the way things are hooked up, sometimes the surface detection isn't working. And I think for some of the slides, or it could just even be that we don't have different surfaces for the slides. I'd have to check that. It could be that we don't have a dirt one, or and so it
Time
just
to get
plays.
your dirt slide on.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jeff will have to slide around in some dirt, get some sound. With,
Poor Jeff,
Thanks.
barking like a dog, dirt slide. All right, well there you go. Very cool.
Did you? I guess on the subject of Infested, we've been kind of redoing some of the sound design for the levels too. Keenan's actually been working on
I've
some
been
of
kind
that.
of taking over the new Infested tile set that'll be coming out.
Oh yeah. Yes, talk about this. That's awesome.
So what we've been doing is we've been trying to make it more organic,
Okay.
a lot more actual natural sounds as opposed to anything like less synthesis and stuff like that. So I've been doing some stuff in the vocal booth, a lot of bowed stuff. So I recorded like a bow on this big resonant, what is it, like an air duct?
Yeah,
It's like a
it's
vent.
HVAC
Yeah, I recorded some of
there.
that, and that was pretty cool. So that's kind of in the distance. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create as much dynamic, like one-offs
Right.
that will occur.
Right.
So it'll just be, you won't hear the same sounds repeating if you notice that ever.
Right.
I'm trying to make it so it's not going to be like that.
And every time you enter that particular tile set, these
It might be a
sounds
bit
will
different, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're trying to do it more organic, more recording here, and yeah, same with the music too that we're going to be getting. I kind of want to make it so we talked about the ambience, like
Yes.
the beds will kind of go in and out with the music. So we're just going to try to see how that works.
Now, I mean, we've shown concept art of this Infested tile
Yep.
set, so at the stage of you're developing the sounds, what are you basing your work off of? And
There's a couple levels that have some art in it
great.
that I've just been kind of staring at, and I'll kind of run around through and see what it looks like. And then I'll have Pro Tools up and I'll kind of play what I'm working on and see if it meshes.
Right.
And then if it seems okay, I'll toss it in and see how it works. And then revise it based off that.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
I think we've shown the concept art for it, and I
Yeah.
think, I mean, Steve kind of said last stream and the stream before that the Infested are coming back to the star chart and all this stuff. So is there a kind of like, I guess what the word I'm looking for is like, what's the big picture from the sound for
Yeah.
that? It's just,
The big picture is Infested. I don't, they never really, like, as far as tile sets, they never really had any before. So
it was
it's,
those little wavy
yeah.
guys
So
on
this
the-
is
Yeah.
like
This is way
completely
different.
redone. I mean, this is almost for us. It's almost like a new enemy type. Like
Mm-hmm.
you guys will, play the game, and it's all new sounds for all of their tile sets. Like we said, the voices are getting a whole overhaul. There's gonna be brand new music for it. So it's gonna be big, I think.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be cool.
Now,
This
do you,
is awesome.
like, I don't know if you guys can speak to this, but is this considered part of the next major update, or is that
Definitely.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to aim to get the music for the next big update, and hopefully that can all ship with all of this stuff. But that's the plan.
nice?
I'm sure we'll have to do some revisions too once we get the music
Right.
complete.
We should do like,
Yeah.
oh right, yeah.
Just to see like if it actually fits, and then probably go back and revise some of the stuff I did. Yeah, but so far so good, I think.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And it's on the right track.
You ever requested a Dojo jukebox?
Yeah, Dojo jukebox. Oh, where you can
That's a
play
cool
all.
idea.
So you can play all the. Oh.
That's a cool idea.
That is a cool idea.
You just need a
Mix the
little
stems.
context
chord in.
action
Yeah.
prop.
Yeah.
Put a credit in. Oh
Yeah,
come
put a
on.
credit in. That would be cool.
One frame.
Let's do it.
One platinum, I don't know. Actually, speaking of, we have some questions about the Dojo ambient sounds, and the Dojo visually got overhauled, one of the single-digit updates, and the sound has kind of gone with it a bit. But are there any plans to do, you have your drums in there and you can do the bells and stuff, but Dojo music overhaul, ambient overhaul, anything?
Yeah, I mean, not specifically. Whenever, the artists come up with something cool like the bells or like the drums, we'll put sounds to that. But yeah, our main focus right now has been on all the Infested stuff. So,
okay.
In a few, as new, Dojo tile sets come online, we'll put kind of similar sounds into them. But, for us, it's always been the feeling that the Dojo is kind of like your meditative place. And so it's kind of got that vibe going on to it.
Great.
So.
Not a whole lot of action-based music.
Yeah.
With the solar rail.
Yeah.
With that, we had some cool stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, like the big door that you did.
The big doors, yep.
Some lasers and stuff. But
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah, there's a whole observatory they added, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Those new tiles that came are definitely artistically way different because this is the ones with the
crazy.
first real outdoor skybox. So
Right.
you definitely changed the setting, I think, of the Dojo with those. So.
Right, definitely. Yeah, so we'll be, as more of that comes online, we'll...
Dojo Rockstar Room inbound, oh god.
Yeah.
Guys.
The jukebox.
Oh man. Okay. Sorry. Those kind of fit into the questions from Anatolius, who was asking about tile-set specific music, creepy, sad music for the Infested Derelicts, and upbeat for the Grenier. But you spoke to what each faction will be, kind of.
Yeah, I don't think Grenier. I don't. It's going to be more orchestral kind of stuff. So it's gonna, it's definitely going to feel like all of it's going to feel like they're your enemy, in that sense. So
Right.
it's all going to be kind of action based that way. But there'll be different instruments used, so you'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's a piece of Corpus music, or that's Grenier music kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Some people are kind of lamenting the loss of the taiko drum consistency. So are we going to be kind of giving the Tenno anthem in a way, or will that always be the taiko drums?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. At this point, we don't have anything specific planned. I think the taiko drums are a kind of a fundamental part of Warframe, and they'll never completely go away. There is some of, even though the Grenier and the Corpus sets are unique to them, you will be some taiko drums and some of that stuff too, just to kind of give it a bit of flavor, But I don't think that'll ever disappear completely from the game.
They have their own melody lines too that separates them as well.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Like the logins.
Yeah, and that all rotates, and so that's there too. So every time you log in, you get a different piece of music, and
Would you ever wish to have it as a consistent piece of music on login for the experience, or?
like always the same piece.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it used to be.
It did. It was always the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had the bright idea one day to just be like, hey, let's, like we do with the dioramas, let's, every time you log in, you get a different piece. It's kind of like rolling the dice. So keeps
More
it fresh.
drums. Chad is like.
we'll
Everyone's saying you
look at
guys
that.
look like a band. But this is the DE sound team band. We have a broader stroke question from Peanut Reaper, who asks, what are you most happy with and why in terms of sound? And on the other side, conversely, what would you want to change the most in the current sound situation?
I'll start with the change
Yeah.
one. I wouldn't say that it's a specific sound set. I think environmentally we want to really improve that.
Okay.
So that the reverb really changes in the space that you're in, and the filtering, we really want to improve that down the line in
Okay.
the future.
I can work with that too. You're nodding because you agree.
Yeah, definitely. There's always stuff that we can make better, and I think that's definitely one of the things. I think, I don't know, like as far as something, the music was a big thing for me, like making it dynamic and changing it that way. So that was a big thing that I wanted to work on, and that's kind of coming to fruition now. I know we've been promising it for a long time,
Yeah.
but it's been kind of hard to get it all kind of working properly, but it's coming together now. And
Like the new system, the new music system actually makes like a huge difference. Like
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
through, it's like it feels like a different game.
Yeah.
With the different music.
Yeah, so fresh. Yeah.
And that's next major update. I just want to make sure I understand.
That's next major update.
We're trying.
But for Grenier only at that point.
For Grenier only, yeah, I think it's at a state where
Yeah.
we could confidently say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so.
Do you have anything?
What am I happy about? I'm pretty happy with all the ambient stuff we've been doing. I've been doing tons of ambient,
Great.
like nonstop. Travis did a ton of the shipyard stuff, and I helped him out with it. But I was pretty happy with the way that turned out. I think with each tile set, we keep trying to do, trying to find the right balance
Right.
of one-offs happening in the environment to make it feel real. So we had the forest, which we
Day and night though, so you
day and
totally
night, which was crazy. Yeah, that was a lot of work though.
Yeah, Jeff did a lot of
We
work
may
on
still
that.
add some
Yeah.
more to it.
Yeah, we
More
might still
day
revisit
night.
that. Yeah.
Just some more stuff in the daytime, but
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, it was a big
Perhaps.
challenge because it's like doing 2 sets in one, really, because you want it to make it feel like it's a different environment, right?
There is some shared overlap sounds. But
Yeah. So with the forest, I think did we decide it didn't have like enough or something going on? It felt like that, but we.
What
I
would an
think-
overgrown
yeah.
Oregon forest
Yeah.
sound like?
Yeah, it's hard.
I think it was just, we want things to stick out a little more here and there kind of thing, so it's like, you hear stuff in the distance, and we have some of that, but just as always,
So we're just trying to find the balance.
yeah, like every time we'll put a sound in the game, and then, like I said, months later, you'll be like, oh man, I want to change that, so
Like, I think-
there's always stuff.
Like comparatively, when you play like the older guild levels,
Yes.
compared to like
Right.
something like
Yeah.
newer, like we're always trying to push our ambience so that it really feels like you're in the environment. You're running through the levels. You can feel machines running. You can feel like
Oh,
like
the
it's
machines in
alive.
the shipyard are like
That's all Travis.
Yeah, we went crazy with the shipyards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did some. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a character, right? And we talk
Yeah.
about like doing the voices. The ambience is just as important as the voices of the AI and the barks of them in the level. So, and the same as music as well. It all kind of combines to give you an experience, right? So
Certainly.
it all has to work together.
Excellent. Very good. We'll do our 3rd platinum prize of the stream now. So if you're tuning in now, we're with our sound team and we're going to do 1,000 platinum prize. So we'll hopefully get a quick rotation out of this here little homemade RNG picker, selecting winner. Here we go. Who knows how long it's going to take this time. Selecting winner from anyone watching the stream right now. You don't need to chat. You don't need to do anything. As long as you're logged into Twitch and watching the stream, you could win. And the winner is Hans Decatur. So that is spelled Hans. Decatur. You've won 1,000 platinum. So message our Twitch page that you're watching right now with your in-game alias or PSN ID, and we'll hook you up. And we just saw Fonz in the background.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay. So we are on the path of almost finishing up the questions.
Cool.
We have almost 15 minutes left, and we have. Yeah. Holy! Are you kidding me? I want. Okay. I've just. PS4 just passed certain and will be going live later today. So if you're playing on the
Nice.
PS4, Update
Great.
13 is coming live for you later today.
Nice.
We just
Yeah,
passed
that's
cert. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
So if you are playing, oh my god. Oh my god.
Huge.
I don't think I'm gonna be. I can't focus. Oh boy.
There's a lot of cool stuff in Update 13.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
it's huge.
That, all
That is
shipyards
huge.
and stuff?
All your
Yeah,
butterfly
yeah.
nets.
Maybe like you
Butterfly
put
nets, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Oh my god, that's insane.
That's
Way to
awesome.
go. Oh, thank you. I'm taping this note forever and ever and ever and ever. This is my favorite piece of paper I've ever got in my life. Damn. Woot. Holy crap. Awesome timing. Damn. Now we just need a siren to complete the cycle. I'm sorry, I'm a little.
We need a beer.
I know you
Yeah, we
guys
didn't
dressed
have
on
beer, we
this.
got one.
Where's Scott when you need him?
I know. If we could get beers delivered by Scott, that'd be great. Did he say woo? Oh, I tell you. All right. So that's awesome. Way to go. Spread the word about the PS4 Update 13 love. You guys, that's a whole new player base getting your work right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's pretty
That's
insane. So now let's get some questions from chat about the sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, there's a siren.
There it
Another
is.
siren.
Siren. It's all. This day is.
I feel like someone dialed in the building or something.
This is.
I saw someone post a chat notification sound. That's something we'll look at.
Yeah,
with the UI
so
stuff.
this is, I guess this kind of goes back to the Grade Zamboni's questions about just general places where there isn't sound in the game right now that would serve a function for the player. So chat is one of them. But I guess this kind of goes into your
Any
UI.
feedback type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, so is that, so there's the in-game UI feedback thing, and then I guess it's all UI
Yeah,
feedback.
UI and just in the menu
Is that going to
system as well.
be part of the bigger UI update?
Yeah, I mean that's a few months down the road kind of thing. We started to get some ideas for it, but that's the thing about the UI. It's just there's so many parts to it that you've got to kind of sit down and kind of map it all out and figure out
Certainly.
okay, what is going to sound like what. So, but it's coming. So yeah.
Excellent. Oh, what is this? All right. Will Warframe's original soundtrack be made separately from D_Attila?
Yeah, we'll do. I definitely want to do a soundtrack, and I think once we get a little more music in the game, we'll release one, and I know Keith will be happy about that. And,
Excellent.
yeah, it'll be good for sure.
We have a question about Valkyr's overhaul. As you know, the players know that Jeff confirmed, not you, other Jeff, Geoff, spelled wrong. Her animations and everything are getting redone. What kind of sound rework is going with that, or do you have to wait to see what the Hysteria Ultimate on Valkyr?
Yeah, we're kind of gonna wait and see what's going on with that, because I haven't. We've kind of, like I said, we've been working on the Infested stuff, so we'll see sort of how much rework we have to do and that. But yeah, I mean, I think her screams are like that's an integral part. And
Screams are staying.
Screams are definitely going to stay, because I think it gives the frame so much character, right? And
Right.
you know it when you hear that scream, you know it's Valkyr. So so yeah, we'll refresh it with whatever animation puts in.
I think just to speak to a certain family weapons, in chat people are saying, what about the shotguns? They feel rather hollow right now. So is there a certain school of weapons you would kind of review before any other?
I mean, I think, we've gone through and reviewed a lot of the weapons. I think, sure, there's always something we can tweak and that kind of thing. And, I guess for us, it's like, okay, well, how does the weapon fit into the broader context? I know some people say, well, the Gorgon isn't powerful enough, it's not loud enough. But then the problem is you can't just simply turn up a weapon, because then for people who are using, let's say, a pistol, fine, should sound weaker than the Gorgon, but it shouldn't sound so weak that it feels, wimpy kind of thing. So we kind of have to find that balance of making all the weapons feel powerful. Because I mean,
We're saying Warframe sounds fantastic though from Owl Pot Pie. So
cool.
Different strokes for different.
And that's the
folks,
thing too,
I'd
right?
say.
I think we try to achieve the middle ground where most people are happy with the sounds of things, and we update things as we go along, but we don't want to nerf something so much that people don't want to use it either, right?
that's the thing.
And we also have to account for speed mods and stuff like that. So
Oh my god.
if something sounds good slow, it may not sound really good if it's been sped up. So we kind of have to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
there.
All your work is subject to the
Yeah.
modifications of.
And the reload speeds too, and all that. It's
Yeah.
like honestly, testing all that stuff is kind of a nightmare, and to make it all kind of work with the sound and make it all kind of still sound cool with no matter how many kinds of mods you have on it. That's a lot of our decisions are based on that too. So.
Yeah, I just see, just for general housekeeping, if you're just tuning in now, yes, there will be a 24-hour stream 24-hour alert after the stream. We're doing a 24-hour stream. We'll be here all night. 24-hour alert will be coming after the stream. We've done our 3 platinum prizes. Maybe we'll do one more. Depends what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
And the PS4 update 13 is coming today. We just found that out midway through the stream on this piece of paper. So
Yes, that's a good thing.
it is a good thing.
Exciting.
Excellent. All right. So we will go back to this the questions from chat. Let's get some more sound questions.
Yeah.
So you talked about boss battle music.
Yeah.
That is the bottom thing after getting faction-specific
Yeah.
music. So
Definitely. I mean, I think for right now, you'll hear the new music we're getting in will be in the boss battles. But how cool would it be to fight Vahek with his theme, or fight Sargus with a theme? And
Right.
it's just a matter of time.
speaking of Vahek streams, you may recall that he invaded one of our streams.
He did.
So what was that? That was basically like animation had to rig it, and the sound had to come from you guys, and like
Yeah, it was put together pretty quickly.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that might have been some of the new music. I forget now.
It definitely sounded like, because that was the
It was, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it was
Yep.
some new music in there. So yeah, so little previews, here and there, so what's to come. So
We definitely should do another platinum giveaway to celebrate Update 13's release
Yeah.
on PS4, because that is awesome. That is awesome.
yeah.
All right, here's a question from Variant X7. When Stalker Zanuka G3 show up, will they get their own soundtracks as well?
Sorry, repeat that. I was
So-
reading the chat.
Sorry. So you know the Stalker,
Yeah.
Zanuka, and the Strike 3 come
Oh, okay.
after you. Will
Yeah.
they get boss, basically event music?
So they currently have.
Stalker has-
He has.
yeah.
He has, and Zanuka too. He has some music as well. So again, it's sort of like I'd say the first priority is faction specific,
Yep.
then bosses, and then Stalker / Zanuka, and whatever else kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we're aware of that. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Captain Vor's theme from Yumi Kami.
Yeah.
Captain Vor's biggest fan.
Well, and I mean, in which cinematic was it? The trailer from was it E3 of last
yeah,
year?
last year.
So he kind of has a bit of a theme in there. So it'd be
Cer-
cool to bring that back and introduce it into his his battle.
It's the little vor. Yeah, you guys should do it. We'll
can
do
do
one
it.
more platinum prize to celebrate. Update 13 on PS4. It's going live today. If you missed that, we got the note of glory, which that is PS4 just past certain. Will go live later today. So
Yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome.
Who's going to win platinum to celebrate this marvelous occasion? The winner will be determined any second now. Who knows? Adam continues to troll us. Just kidding, Adam.
Taiko drum roll.
Taiko drum roll. Taiko drum roll. Oh, you guys are a band.
Yeah, there you go. As it
This is
spins.
going to be a never-ending one for sure. Who could it be? G. Kioni. G-K-U-O-N-I. G. Kuoni. G. Kuoni. You won 1,000 platinum. Message our Twitch page with your in-game alias. Great, let's clap to the taiko drums. I can't do it, so I'm so good. Anyway, all right, we'll take a few more questions from chat, and then
Yeah, cool.
we got to be here for an hour, so
Cool.
we'll wrap it up and go back, and I'm sure I have a ton of work to do now.
Should we mention the video too?
Which?
The gun?
Oh,
We didn't talk
video.
about that. Yeah, the video.
Which gun?
Which one? Sorry,
The gun video.
Was there another video that we?
No, we
In
didn't
the
say
works.
anything
It's
about
in the
it.
works.
Oh yeah,
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 we
sorry,
have
yeah,
videos in the
yeah.
works.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are
Keenan.
plotting.
I
Sound like
totally, yeah, I totally forgot. We're scheming. Yeah, we're going to be putting together a gun video actually to show you guys how we record. From like we showed you the pictures, we took video of that day as well. So we'll show you kind of the raw capturing of all the sounds, and then how we combine those sounds to make weapons in the game. So, I think that'll be pretty cool for people to see where the sounds came from and where they end up, kind of thing. So.
We have a question about Darvo from Become Like Water, who says, is Darvo ever going to get his own theme song?
Probably. I mean, at some
Everyone that
point.
wants a theme
Wants
song
themes.
these days.
Themes for everybody. Yeah, no, honestly, I think if we had all the time in the day, yeah, everybody would get their own theme. So, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone will get a theme down there.
Yeah.
But yes. Boss
Lotus
music
theme.
more important than mine or enemy music. Rule of any epic game is what Armageddon says. That's a candid comment from one of the viewers.
I hear what you're saying. I guess the thing for us right now is like, okay, you play so many missions and you keep hearing the same music. So sort of what's the most important thing is I think it's to get variety in all of the tile sets versus, just one tile set with a boss has different music, and then 50 other tiles you play all have the same piece. So
Yeah.
that for us I think has been the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we always need to talk about in sound streams is, are the Warframes ever going to have voices? And that's always been a no.
Yeah, I don't.
I saw a lot of questions about that in
Needs
chat.
his own theme.
Grenier needs his own theme?
You should. As he walks out.
We'll see.
Greener theme.
Just kidding, you can have one.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think so. No, I think it's kind of cool that they're mysterious and we don't know,
I like the
right?
mystery.
Like,
Yeah, same.
it's it's behind the curtain. You don't really know, right? I mean, it's kind of cool. It's part of the experience, I think.
I agree.
So,
The mute peasants will
Yeah.
continue, as Alan B would say.
yeah,
Not,
yeah,
not me.
exactly.
Scott's talking about beer in chat. I can't read Russian, Nero163. If I could, I would. But, okay, what happens with the dynamic music when there is an invasion mission from the Great Zamboni? So there's an invasion mission,
Yeah.
aka faction versus faction. Would
Yeah.
you...
That's a good question. We need to check that.
Well, I assume you get the
I
faction
think-
you're fighting? Oh, man.
I.
Chicken or the egg?
Yeah, we'll have to check that.
Okay.
We'll
What would you
have to
think,
check
or what would you like to happen, I suppose, from a design perspective?
I think probably whoever is invading, kind of thing, the invasion faction should be. So I'm not sure if we need to check that and see how that works actually.
Zamboni pulled a fast one.
You did.
That's a great question.
She did.
Yeah.
That's an awesome question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
All right,
Stump the sound team.
Stump the Sound Team. That should be the
Yeah.
Stump the Cool Dude band.
Exactly.
Band. All right.
Cool.
Oh, right. Yeah. So just that kind of concludes the stream. I just see some questions about the ongoing enemy design project. So that's wrapping up today. In terms of Infested, it's already wrapped up. The poll will be going live shortly-ish by end of day, as long as we can get everything done before, well, we'll stay as long as we need to, but update 13 on PS4 is coming. 24-hour alert is coming after the stream. 4 platinum prizes. Currently we're doing an enemy design project, and Corpus is next, so you guys can look for submissions there. We'll know the Infested winner by next week, and
Cool.
that concludes Devstream 28.
Great.
Thank you
Cool.
so much for
Awesome.
joining us,
Hey, no
dudes.
problem.
If you want to say goodbye, any
Absolutely.
closing
See you
words? Happy Mother's Day. I don't
Yeah,
know.
happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Thanks
Mother's
for
Day,
playing the
Mother's
game.
Day.
Mom and on TV.
Yeah, and yeah, Warframe soundtrack coming soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make promises.
No, I'm not.
No, great. Check spot.
No.
Cash, George.
That's a check I can cash. I can
All right.
cash that.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everyone for helping. Dean, Warren, Connor, anyone watching, and Grenier from your desk can come in I'm coming for you. So
All right.
we need to talk about the Infested. All right, thanks guys.
See you guys.
24 hour
Yeah.
alert will
See you
hop
guys.
in a bit, maybe like by 3:30. So we'll see you then.
All right.
Goodbye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.